Okay, so real quick, quantum mechanics is about to ruin your entire concept of reality, so buckle up. In normal physics, if you know where something is and how fast it's moving, you can basically predict its whole future. Simple, clean, makes sense. But in the quantum world, things get weird almost immediately. Before you observe a particle, it's not really somewhere. It exists in this blurry combo of every possible state at once. This is called superposition, and it's giving I-contain multitudes, but literally, the second you look at it, measure it, whatever, it snaps into one single state. And for decades, physicists were just like, okay, two separate rulebooks exist, one for when nobody's watching, and one for the second you do. Kind of chaotic, honestly. Having two different laws of physics depending on whether you're paying attention feels like a plot hole. This is where Schrodinger's cat comes in, and I need you to know this thought experiment was never meant to be a cute meme. It was Schrodinger basically dragging quantum theory for being ridiculous. The setup, a cat, a box, a radioactive atom, a detector, and poison that releases if the atom decays. Since nobody knows if the atom decayed or not until you check, quantum mechanics says the atom is in a superposition of decayed and not decayed. And because everything in that box is now tangled up together, the cat is technically in a superposition too, alive and dead, at the same time. Until you open the box. Obviously that sounds insane because you've never actually seen a zombie/alive cat, so something's not adding up. And this is the part that gets slept on. There's a concept called entanglement, which is basically when two particles stop having their own separate identities and become one linked system. Measure one, and you instantly know info about the other, even if they're on opposite sides of the universe. It's not spooky magic, it's that they were never truly separate to begin with, they share one wave function. So here's the actual plot twist. What if the measurement changes everything rule was never real, and physicists just added it because they didn't know what else to do? What if, when you open the box, you're not causing some special collapse? You're just becoming entangled with the cat, same as the detector did, same as the poison did. You're just another quantum system bumping into another quantum system. No special rules needed. And if that's true, something wild happens. When you open the box, you don't collapse anything, you split. There's a version of you that becomes entangled with a live cat, and a version of you that becomes entangled with dead cat. And these two yous do not know about each other anymore. They're not the same person continuing on two paths. They're now fully separate, living in separate realities that will never touch again. This is the many worlds interpretation, and it says the universe doesn't collapse when you measure something, it branches. And it's not just happening in cat boxes, it's happening constantly right now inside you. Your body has radioactive atoms decaying thousands of times per second. Every single decay is a quantum event that ends up interacting with its surroundings, which means every single one branches the universe a little. So the how many timelines exist question isn't small, it's absurdly, uncomfortably large. Basically infinite branching happening non-stop, silently, this entire time, and you've never noticed because you only ever get to experience the branch you're in. Now obviously people hear this and immediately go, wait, so is there a universe where I'm famous, where I'm rich, where I said the right thing in that one conversation 4 years ago? And technically, if many worlds is correct, yes, there's a version of you that took the risk. There's a version of you that didn't overthink it. There's statistically some extremely low probability branch where you're literally the president. Not you exactly, a version of you, because the second the branching happens, you two stop being the same person. Same origin, different path, different people now. Here quote S, the part that should actually mess with you though. This theory doesn't make the universe more random, it makes it less random. If every outcome happens every single time, with zero exceptions, then the universe is actually fully deterministic again. Nothing is left to chance at the level of the whole wave function. It only feels random to us because we're stuck experiencing one tiny sliver of it, one branch out of an incomprehensibly large tree of branches, and we mistake I don't know which branch I'm in yet for this is random. And no, this doesn't mean everything imaginable happens somewhere. An electron isn't suddenly becoming a proton in some universe. That would break actual conservation laws. Many worlds doesn't mean anarchy, it means the Schrodinger equation, the actual math governing quantum systems, keeps playing out consistently. It just plays out along every mathematically allowed path instead of just one. Is this proven? No, not even close. Physicists still argue about this constantly, and there are competing interpretations, some of which still believe in that old school collapse. Many worlds is compelling because it's mathematically simpler. It doesn't need a special extra rule bolted on just for measurement, but simpler doesn't automatically mean true. But here's the thing that actually matters: whether or not any of this is real. If there genuinely is a version of you, living some completely different life in some completely different branch, it changes literally nothing about what this version of you needs to do. That version isn't you anymore. It's split off. It's not coming back to hand you its results. You don't get to borrow its outcome. You only get this branch, this timeline, this exact sequence of decisions you're currently sitting inside of. So maybe the multiverse isn't actually an escape hatch from your choices. Maybe it's the opposite. It's proof that every decision is a fork, and once you take it, that other path isn't waiting for you. It's already gone, living its own separate life without you in it. This branch right here is the only one you actually get to touch.